So now let's see Zen 3 in action. I'm so proud to show you for the very first time the AMD Ryzen 5000 series for high-performance PCs, the world's first Zen 3 powered CPU. This is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. 12 cores, 24 threads, and a boost up to 4.8 gigahertz. It's a very special product, the ultimate enthusiast processor. Compared to the 3900 XT, the 5900X has 19% higher IPC, higher clock speeds, and all of the Zen 3 core improvements that Mark talked about, all while remaining at 105 watts. This makes Ryzen 5900X a big upgrade from 3rd gen Ryzen all around, but especially in gaming. Now let me turn it over to Robert Halleck to show you the 5900X in action.
Thanks, Lisa. Hey everyone, let me give you a sense of just how much faster the 5900X is compared to our current best, the 3900 XT. To do that, we're going to use Shadow of the Tomb Raider, a game I personally love, and a game reviewers often look at to judge CPU performance. We're going to run the built-in benchmark here at 1080p using the high image quality preset on two otherwise identical systems. You can see a whopping 28% increase just by moving from the 39XT to the 5900X in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And as you will soon see, the performance from the 5900X is faster than the competing processors as well. Now, as any enthusiast knows, 28% from a processor change is a massive upgrade. But that's what AMD customers, like me, can look forward to. This truly demonstrates the gaming strength for Zen 3 when you combine the historic IPC uplift, unified cores, and unified cache pools. Now, as we zoom out to look at a wider set of games, you can see that the 28% uplift in Shadow of the Tomb Raider is joined by many titles with significant double-digit performance improvements. The gains are even bigger in titles like CSGO and League of Legends, where the highest possible frame rate is practically the #1 priority to be competitive. Overall, gamers upgrading from the Ryzen 3000 series to the Ryzen 5000 series can expect an average performance improvement of 26% at 1080p. Again, this is just a monumental performance jump for an in-socket upgrade in the same motherboard, and a true testament for how good Zen 3 is in gaming. Now, as many know, strong gaming performance relies on strong single-core performance. That's exactly what Zen 3 has. And I want to show you using Cinebench R20 single-thread. There are many ways to assess single-thread performance, but Cinebench is a fast and easy tool that you can run at home, and it's one of the 25 workloads that we used to calculate the 19% improvement for Zen 3's instructions per cycle. As you can see, the 5900X is the first desktop processor to ever break a 600 score. And we don't break it by a little, we break it by a lot with a score of 631. We at AMD heard you loud and clear as you challenged us to continue investing in single-core performance, and the results speak for themselves. The combination of IPC, frequency, cores, and cache give AMD the fastest cores in the desktop market and give you the best possible gaming performance. So let's take that landmark core performance into a head-to-head battle. Across the same set of games you just saw, the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is a clear winner at 1080p. As I promised you, AMD wins in Shadow of the Tomb Raider by +6, and is joined by many other games popular with reviewers and users like you. League of Legends and CSGO are once again standout victories for the Ryzen 9 5900X.
For those of you who want the very best processor in a desktop PC, we have the 16-core Ryzen 9 5950X. The 5950X is simply an amazing CPU. 16 cores, 32 threads, and our fastest processor with boost frequencies up to 4.9 gigahertz. The 5950X breaks the Cinebench R20 single-threaded record that Robert set just a few minutes ago with a score of 640. It is truly the best in class in every dimension. Best gaming performance meets best processor for content creation, and all of this still at 105 watts. Now let's take a look at some of the performance. If we look at the generational uplift from the 3950X to the 5950X, we see up to 27% more performance in CAD workloads and 12% more performance in rendering workloads. More impressively, we see up to 29% more gaming performance. And this is really how we bring the best of both worlds together. The best for gamers and the best for creators. And now, if you put 5950X against the top of the stack from the competition, we see that the 5950X provides up to 59% more creative performance in rendering workloads, double-digit wins in video editing and software compiling, and we also win in lightly threaded CAD workloads as well. We're really proud of the fact that we also win in gaming. There's nothing like the 5950X in the world. One processor that delivers the best power efficiency, our highest clock speeds, the highest single-core performance in the industry, and the highest multi-core performance of any gaming processor. And it's priced at $799 and will also be available globally on November 5th. I hope you're now as excited about AMD Ryzen 5000 series as I am.
Now more than ever, people depend on their PCs to learn, work, create, and have fun. And it's vital that PCs reflect the real-world multi-use experiences people do every day in order to keep up with their busy lives. To stay ahead of the growing demand for compute performance, PCs must become not only faster, but more purposeful and adaptive. Introducing the all-new 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Intel's most significant shift in x86 architecture in more than a decade. These processors introduce Intel's first performance hybrid architecture with 2 all-new Core microarchitectures instead of 1. The Performance Core, or P-Core, is the highest performing CPU core Intel has ever built, maximizing single-thread performance and responsiveness. The Efficient Core, or E-Core, delivers scalable multi-threaded performance plus efficient offload of background tasks for modern multitasking. In order for these cores to work seamlessly with the operating system, Intel has built new intelligence directly into the hardware called Intel Thread Director. By carefully monitoring and analyzing in real time, Thread Director guides the operating system to place the right application thread on the right core at the right time to deliver incredible performance and responsiveness. Based on the workload, background activities and tasks that can be run in parallel like image rendering may be efficiently offloaded to the E-cores, unlocking the massive performance and responsiveness of the P-cores for compute-intensive workloads like 4K gaming and 3D design. 12th Gen Intel Core processors are Intel's revolutionary new approach to x86 architecture. Dynamic, adaptive, and purpose-built for real-world performance, unleashing human potential like never before. 12th Gen Intel Core processors, delivering superior performance where you need it most.
Twelfth Gen Intel Core processors are all the rage. Here are 3 things to know about the chips, previously codenamed Alder Lake. First, a brand new performance hybrid architecture that integrates 2 types of cores, performance cores and efficient cores. Compared with the previous generation, 12th Gen P-cores offer a performance boost of 19%. Second, an innovation called Intel Thread Director. This tech is baked into the hardware and it helps the operating system route workloads to the best cores for the job. P-cores will tackle the most demanding tasks, while E-cores will manage background activities. Think multitasking without a performance hit. Third, the 12th Gen Core families support the latest state-of-the-art standard in memory, I/O, and connectivity, and will consist of 60 processors, including the world's best gaming processor. Intel's performance hybrid 12th Gen chips are a major strike against the competition.
The Ryzen 7 5800X3D is our first Ryzen processor with 3D V-Cache technology. It features 8 cores, 16 threads, up to 4.5 gigahertz boost, and a large 64 megabytes of 3D cache to go with the 32 megabytes of 2D cache. The 5800X3D drops right into existing AM4 motherboards and delivers a significant boost in gaming performance. Looking at the performance in 1080p gaming, we see a significant increase in performance in many games with the 96 megabytes of L3 cache. Across the entire suite, it delivers an average of 15% more frames per second than our previous fastest gaming processor, the Ryzen 9 5900X. And when compared to the competition's best gaming processor, we're proud to say the combination of the Zen 3 core and AMD 3D V-Cache once again makes Ryzen the fastest gaming CPU in the world. Customers often say they just want a game and want the fastest processor for the job, and the 5800X3D delivers. And I'm happy to say that Ryzen 7 5800X3D will be available starting this spring. Now, I want to give you one more update today on our desktop roadmap. Since 2017, we've introduced 123 processors across 12 different product families in 4 different technologies to the AM4 platform. That is just a remarkable amount of innovation. But as always, we continue to push the envelope, and I'd like to give you a preview of our next-gen CPU and platform. Zen 4 is the next big step. Built on 5-nanometer process technology, Zen 4 will extend our performance and performance per watt leadership in desktop PCs. For the very first time, let me show you our next generation Ryzen processor. This is the all-new 5-nanometer AMD Ryzen 7000 desktop processor. It's currently running in our labs, and the performance looks incredible. And just as we did with Ryzen 6000 mobile, our next-gen Ryzen desktop processors will be paired with next-generation memory and connectivity technologies to deliver the ultimate experience. In addition to the new Ryzen 7000 CPUs, we're introducing an all-new AM5 platform. AM5 features an LGA socket and includes a support for PCI Express Gen 5, DDR5 memory, and much, much more. Now let's see Ryzen 7000 and Zen 4 in action for the first time. What you're seeing is 1080p gameplay footage of Halo Infinite running on a pre-production 5-nanometer Ryzen processor. To give you an idea of why we're so excited about Zen 4, you can see beautiful gameplay at very high frame rates. And I can tell you that all of those Zen 4 cores are running at 5 gigahertz during this demo. This is the next generation of gaming and PC experiences from AMD.
For anyone who wants a solid gaming CPU that performs similarly to more expensive options for a lower price, the Intel Core i5-12600K is my choice as the best option for the money in 2022. Intel's Core i5-12600K processor is a great mid-range alternative to premium options that deliver superior performance to previous generation Intel processors and a high overclock ceiling to squeeze out some extra frame rates for a decent price. Like the previously mentioned Intel Core i9-12900K, it's built on a 10nm lithography that's compatible with the newer LGA 1700 socket, so you can place it on the PCB without soldering it. It comes with a built-in Intel UHD graphics controller to consistently deliver good graphics and image quality while playing. I also like that it offers support for PCIe Gen 5 and DDR5 to connect high-performance components for better gameplay. Unfortunately, it consumes more power than the AMD options on this list and has a 125-watt TDP rating, but it has respectable thermals and peaks at around 66 degrees Celsius. It has 6 performance cores that excel at single-threaded performance and deliver impressive clock speeds, 4 efficient cores, a base clock speed of 3.7 GHz, and a high maximum overclock speed of 4.9 GHz to deliver superior performance to previous generation i9 Intel processors. It also delivers impressive multi-threaded performance, which makes it suitable for content creators or creative professionals. The gaming performance is also stellar and can handle mainstream titles, although it's unable to run Assassin's Creed Valhalla and some other games that use de novo DRM protection. While it doesn't quite offer the same multi-threaded performance as high-end AMD options, the Intel Core i5-12600K is a great mid-range processor that can handle most modern games and some creative tasks without sacrificing performance. This is an ideal option if you don't want to spend too much money but still want a powerful CPU that can handle some demanding tasks.